r/ask Reddit. Non-Americans of Reddit. What is the craziest rumor you heard about America that turned out to be true? Surfer dudes actually speak like that. Californians speak like that too. I'm from Quebec, and when we went down to Boston for a school trip, I sneezed in public and heard 2 or 3 people say bless you. Quite a weird rumor I had heard not 2 months prior to that. I thought it was nice. Wait, you don't say bless you when someone sneezes? I mean, it's not like it means anything, so I could understand why. It just seems so strange to not say anything. I mean, how else are we supposed to deal with the demons that escape through sneezes? That people actually get attacked by alligators which got in their pools. Specifically referring to Florida here. I studied in Maryland for about half a year back in 2017. I'd always heard that Americans are like super good at pie. I was pretty much all alone during Thanksgiving, since everyone else was with their families. One of the ras I'd befriended knocked on my door and brought me all different kinds of pie. Dear Lord, I've never tasted anything that delicious. From blueberry to apple to pumpkin. Every single pie. They were all amazing. I'm from Australia, and all my life I believed red Solo cups were like 555 area codes, a Hollywood prop. When I immigrated to the US, my mill was making dinner and offered me iced tea in a red Solo cup. I lost it. Made everyone sign the cup. I've still got it. America has libraries that are essentially free to use. This was not even a rumor, but more like sarcastic comment from a friend who heard I was excited to go to the US because he knew what book nerds my entire family is. When I first arrived here 25 years ago, the first day of work at Newark NJ, I walked out at lunchtime and saw the huge central library. The size boggled my mind, but I bravely walked in to check it out. The guy says, "Yup, show me your work ID for local address, and you get a membership card." Me, how much does it cost? I only own $80 total till I get my first pay. Bemused, almost laughing. It's free. You don't pay anything. Me, after a brief recovery time from shock. So how many books am I allowed to take home? Expecting that to be a catch. Maybe I need to put down a security deposit for each book. Now positively enjoying himself. How many can you carry? That day I took home 30 plus books, just being greedy, and quickly called my dad to tell him about it. For a guy who painstakingly would browse used bookstores in small town India, just to get his kids great books to read, he was suitably amazed. He was puzzled if that would kill the bookstore business, because who'd buy if such free libraries existed? Till date I remember the gratitude I felt that day for being able to come here. And when dad visited some years later, I would drop him off at a library on my way to work, and he'd be lost in it all day. That Hawaiians really like Spam. Yeah, and there's a perfectly good reason for it too. After Pearl Harbor, the effects of WW2 started in the US, and rationing became a thing. Well, it turns out that it's kind of hard to get fresh rations to an island that imports a lot. So, for meat, they had to make do with Spam. Human ingenuity prevails, and dishes were made. And that's how Hawaii learned to love Spam. You can see into the public toilet cubicles. Female here. I've been in bathrooms where the gap between the stall and door is so big I felt the need to cover it with my purse just to get some privacy. The absolute worst is when some mother brings her grubby-handed son on the bathroom and you see a ducking 8-year-old's eye staring at you from the other side of the door. So apparently yellow school buses are actually a thing in America. I honestly thought it was just a cartoon thing, but nope. I always thought that the Olive Garden in The Simpsons was just code for generic restaurant. Masked people come to your house, knock on your door asking for candy. Mostly it's just packs of kids, but sometimes whole families. This was my friend's Halloween culture shock. Not exactly crazy, but I wanted to test out the stereotype that Americans will talk to anyone. So I sought out a sports bar on my first visit. Ended up having a ton of really fun conversations with total strangers who I'll never talk to ever again. It was great. That you can identify Texans with the simple phrase "the stars at night are big and bright." Before I moved to America, I heard about dishwashers. That shit sounded too good to be true. Well, imagine my surprise. Not really crazy, but I just learned you guys have like outdoor sirens that get tested somewhat frequently. I've only heard those noises in video games and movies until my friend sent me a clip, because I had no idea it actually happened. Edit, I'm in Canada, Southern Ontario. They have milk in gallon cartons. When I visited America, I went to supermarket for some breakfast stuff, cereal, and milk. All they had was milk in gallons. Who could possibly have that much milk? I asked for a smaller carton and the lady who worked there just laughed at me and made a remark about "don't we like milk in England?" That public transport is almost non-existent in many smaller towns, which makes it a necessity for teens to have their own cars. They have garbage disposals in their kitchens. That's just so wild to me. Edit, to clarify, I'm from the UK. I'm aware that they're not the same as bins/trash cans, and that they're mainly for food waste and scraps. I'm also delighted that they're called carburetors in Canada. Homeowners associations. What the fuck is up with that? The place that my wife and I bought came with a busybody of an HOA president. We got a fucking note stapled to our gate that said our clothes line had to be removed because it was an eyesore. So I wrote back and told her about how shitty our dryer is, and we're in the fucking desert anyway, so hanging them up is the most environmentally friendly way to dry clothes anyway. Still got another note during laundry day the following week, so I stapled a note to her door that said, "If you want me to have a good dryer, then buy me one. Otherwise, kindly fuck off." Haven't heard from her since. Not even a note. Hope she's okay. Conversely, the biggest not true thing I found is that Americans are known for being rude and mean, while Canadians are known for being polite and nice. As a Canadian, I think it's totally backwards. Everywhere I've visited in the USA had been filled with outgoing people who can't help but offer assistance, talk to my kids, chat it up randomly, laugh and joke in public with strangers, etc. Back in Canada it's eyes down, mouth closed just about everywhere, and the best you'll get is a dismissive laugh. Our store employees don't try talking to customers. Nobody talks in line. Even servers at restaurants are largely all business. I love traveling to the USA, if for no other reason than for all the attention and casual conversation that happens everywhere. In Canada it feels like we are a population of individuals who want nothing to do with each other. The only exception is that Canadians can't be honest about being pissed off. We smile, laugh, or if it's serious we'll roll our eyes and then bitch about it later in private. Either USA you pretty much always know exactly where you stand. Personally I find this refreshingly honest.